College bowl season is special in many ways, one being that it's a destination game for both teams. But what goes into making sure when the team travels, everything the student athletes need is available? I sat down with Bowling Green's equipment director and truck driver to find out.
We started prepping this about 2 weeks in advance of the truck leaving. We kind of have to do it differently because we're always packing more for a week trip where we do practice. Normally on our normal road game, we don't practice. So we have to take all of our field equipment. We have to take extra equipment for practice, things like that, you know, practice jerseys, practice pants, practice apparel, those types of things. So we're packing a lot more. And logistics-wise, we're just making sure we have we have a huge checklist, make sure everything's checked off that list before we go. And as we complete it, we load it onto the truck so that we know it's ready to go.
Now that the truck is loaded and ready, it's time to hit the road. Depending on the distance of the trip, the truck will leave Bowling Green days ahead of the team's departure, traveling thousands of miles with little room for error.
I always try to leave early enough to buy that window so that if anything would happen, I could get a rental truck if I need to. No matter what, my job is to get the gear here, and it doesn't matter what happens between here and there. It's my responsibility to get it here, and I take it very seriously. I usually, when I pull up, just do this big, you know.
After arrival, it's the equipment team's duty to make the away facility feel like home away from home.
We roll everything off the truck, and we have a great crew of student managers. They're the backbone of this operation. We unload, first and foremost, we unload the player bags. So we get the bags off the truck, and then they start setting up the lockers. They hang their helmets, they hang their shoulder pads, all their apparel loops, we make sure those are hung up, the cleats are set out. So when they walk in the locker room, same thing I was talking about earlier, they don't have to worry about everything. They come right to their locker, it's just like we're at home.
And when the final whistle blows, it's a dash to get everything loaded for the trip home.
Usually there's a trunk or two a couple things that we can roll onto the truck during halftime, and then once that final whistle blows and the players go to the locker room, it's go time. I mean, we just start hustling, getting everything onto the truck, and you know, you got to pack it a certain way for it all to fit, so we try to get it all packed in an orderly fashion and so that it rides safely back, straps, all that stuff to get it back. And then we wait for all the players to get their showers, get changed, grab their meals, and get on the bus so that we can get those last sets of player bags up on the bus and roll out.
It's definitely a scramble, you know, because obviously we take longer than the team does, so we don't want the team waiting too long after the final whistle, but we're loading immediately. I think Brian mentioned it, you know, we start loading at halftime. Some of the things that we're done using for the game, we put that up on the truck, we get it loaded, and then pretty much after that, it's a mad scramble to get the players' bags packed up and then get the truck loaded and secured and locked down so that nothing moves on the way back.
On average, usually within an hour of the whistle, I'm rolling. I'd say that's probably about the average. You know, if they win, especially like a bowl game, you know, it's going to take longer because there's other things going on. So that'll take some extra time to get the truck loaded and get it on the road with all the gear and get back. And a lot of times you're under the gun to get back because they got practice the next day, you know, things like that. So you try to make sure that I'm there with plenty of time for them to get the laundry done and basically flip everything for the next day.